So today I will be leading you all in a wall yoga series. This is honestly one of my favorite practices because you get to relax completely on the wall, but you still get the benefit of stretching. You get the benefit of allowing the blood circulation to still move through your body, as well as relieving tension from your low back, your hamstrings, which honestly I struggle with a lot. So the only thing that you'll need today is something that you can place under you, whether it's a mat or a blanket. And then you'll want to have by you another blanket that you can roll up to support yourself a little later. And then if you have a bolster, you can also use that as well, or just, like I said, a pillow or a blanket. So let's go ahead and get started. What you're gonna do is you're gonna come to the side. On your left side, you're gonna press your hip really close to the wall, okay? So really try to get it as close to the wall as possible. One of two options of how you can get into this pose. So if you're not as open in the hips, you can go ahead and walk yourself down onto the ground, continuing to press your hips forward towards the wall. And then you're gonna roll over onto your back, kind of gotta wiggle yourself back to center, and then come into a butterfly position, okay? So that's the first way. It's honestly an easier way. The second way, you can stay lifted in the chest and then bring your feet towards the wall. Kind of come down on your forearms. Keep pressing your hips towards the wall and then come all the way down into your butterfly. Now, in this butterfly pose, you don't want to put any strain on your thighs. So gravity is naturally going to draw your heels closer to your center. Just allow it to happen, okay? For your hands, you can place them on your lower belly. You can bring one hand to your lower belly, one hand to your heart. You can also take a nice open cactus arms, or just let them hang. Honestly, whatever is more comfortable for you. Okay? So from here, we'll take about 3 to 5 breaths. And then feel for slightly tucking the tailbone under so that you're pressing your navel in towards the back of the spine to draw the low back towards the mat. Take about 2 more breaths. Allow the shoulders to get heavy. And then slowly release on your last exhale. Take your hands to the outside of your knees, draw them together. Maybe hug yourself. You can rock from side to side or just stay in the center. From here, we're gonna take a wall squat, also known as happy baby. So you're gonna bring your feet a little wider than hips width distance apart. Now, for some of you, naturally your hips will have shifted away from the wall. Now, if you feel them slightly elevated and you like that, that's your jam, cool, stay there. Or this is when we bring the blanket or a bolster under the hips. So you're gonna lift the hips, bring that blanket under, and then settle back into this position. Now, you want to make sure that your toes are parallel, pointed up towards the wall, also knees parallel. So you don't want them out like a butterfly or concaving in. You want to keep them parallel as well. And then take a few breaths, actively drawing the chest out to allow the shoulders to connect with the ground below you. And just notice where you're holding any tension. Kind of do a quick body scan. And with every exhale, just find ways to release that. Take about 2 more breaths. And then from here, go ahead and heel toe your feet together. Draw your knees back into your chest. You can even take a wide-legged knees into chest. From here, we're gonna go straight into half straddle. So one foot is going to be planted onto the wall, and then the other leg is going to extend out, heel to the wall, toes pointed outward, and just relax the hands down. Again, allow gravity to let that leg open. Keep that other knee parallel. So this is honestly going to give you a heightened sense of awareness in your groin. So just let it happen. If you want, you can also, I have a block here. You can take a block like under the thigh if you want that resistance, like if you don't want your hip to open up so much. But if you want to challenge yourself, just kind of let it happen. And then from here, slowly take your hand under the back of the knee to draw the leg in, plant the foot, and then extend the other leg out. And also, if your arms are in one position, so like let's say if they're down by my hips, maybe I want to just change that to get a little more circulation in my arms. Maybe I bring my arms above the head. And then settle back into your breath. Really plant the toes onto the wall here. Take a few more rounds of breath. And then slowly release again, taking your hand behind your knee to draw the leg in. Now, you want to prepare yourself. We are going to go into a full straddle. So if you need to kind of sway the knees from left to right, feel free to do so. And then go ahead and extend both legs out at the same time. Pressing the heels into the wall, flexing the toes to point away from you. Again, try not to have any added strain or like don't go against this opening of the straddle. Just allow gravity to open up, okay? You may notice that one side of your inner thigh is a little more open than the other. I know for me, my right side is always getting a deeper stretch than my left just because I have tight muscles on this side, which is perfectly fine. Again, if you need anything under your hips, feel free to take blanket, bolster. You could even take a block and like take a blanket over the blocks. Now, if this is too much on your knees, you can take a micro bend in the knees here, just so that you're still getting the stretch and the opening of the hips. Take about 3 more breaths. And then on your last exhale, slowly release. Take both hands to the back of the knees. Slowly bring yourself back in. Hug your knees. And if you do have something under you, you're going to lift your hips, slide it away, take it off to your side. Come back into this neutral position. Make sure you scoot yourself forward. We're going to come into our climb twist. So your knees are going to be tucked into your chest, yeah? And then you're going to draw your knees all the way down to one side. Now, to stabilize this top knee, you can take your hand, resting it onto the top of your knee, and then taking the opposite arm out into a half T. Your gaze can be up towards the ceiling, or you can turn your head towards the hand that's extended outward. Allow the shoulder of the extended arm to relax closer to the mat. And then slowly draw your knees back into your chest. Turn your gaze back to neutral position. If you want, you can extend the legs up off of the wall and just bend one leg at a time. And then bring both knees back into the chest, drawing your knees into the reclined twist on the opposite side. Just become aware if this stretch is a little deeper on this side, or maybe it's giving you some pull. Don't necessarily make any changes, just become aware of it. Try not to hold any tension in the jaw as you're taking your inhales and exhales. On your last exhale, slowly make your way back to center. Hug the knees into the chest, again extending them up, bending one leg at a time. And we are going to end this series with a wall caterpillar, or legs up the wall. So the heels are gonna come onto the wall, toes flexed out, but you're also kind of relaxing the toes, so it's not an added strain. Now again, if you want to have your hands rested down, maybe you scoot yourself back a little bit. But to get the fullness of this pose, you want to have your hips as close to the wall as possible so you can have your hands out at a diagonal. If you need some extra support, again, take a bolster or a blanket under the hips to elevate, and just feel that blood circulation moving all the way back down. And this is your time to unwind. So maybe you take about 5 to 10 breaths here. Sealing off your practice. Let go of any unwanted energy. Allow yourself to simply be here in this moment. And whenever you're ready, you can slowly come out of this practice, taking your time. No rush here. Honor your body. Taking small movements. Maybe bringing your knees into your chest. Rolling over onto your favorite side. And slowly pressing yourself up into a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to heart center, bowing your chin towards your chest. Just giving yourself honor and gratitude. acknowledges the light and love in me, that respects, acknowledges, and honors the light and love in you. Namaste.